Hello everyone, I am SS the Showstopper, and today is the 26th of January 2024. Now, just to recap, I was speaking on the previous video I did, about Shensia, and there's a little story that I want to say quickly before I get into it. I remember once when I was working in the call center, I met a female. Well, she was on my team, right? She was very dark skinned. She had a white, puffy face, puffy cheek, and she combed her hair with a bang. So people used to call her Dora because she looks like the character Dora, the animated character Dora, except she wear her bangs and stuff like that. And I remember her having such poise. She has such grace about her, and people used to bully her because, you know, she was dark skinned and stuff like that, so they didn't consider her pretty. Who used to bully her? The females. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that I always wanted to know, where does she get that self-worth from, wherein nothing bothers her? She was just simply okay. It was like you said, nothing to her. She didn't care. She was very, very graceful, and I consider her so beautiful because she had a unique feature, and I liked it. So I went to her one day and I asked her the question, why is it that nothing anybody says affects you and stuff like that? And she said that her mother committed suicide because her mother, you know, was rejected by a guy and stuff like that, and it hurt her mother and she didn't know how to cope, and her mother committed suicide. She said she looks exactly like her mother, and the things that people say to her, I don't want to cry. I'm sorry, I don't want to cry. She's saying that the things that people say to her, she always said she hoped that when she looks in the mirror she would never see that. And you know, it's you have to have that. That's what I'm speaking of, that type of self-worth. You have to have that deep self-value in you to know that listen, I am above whatever it is that is thrown at me. The prettiest of girl in the world, I've been lied to, I've been cheated on, I've been deceived. It matters not. You have to value yourself. And coming for another female, simply you don't like her based on her success, or you don't like her because of her features, or because she's desired by men, or whatever the case may be, it's not going to give you the peace that you are looking for. I know I can't address everybody, or I can't fix sick people. I'm not in the game of fixing sick people. I'm just in the game of letting other females out there know who might be struggling and want to overcome whatever it is that they're feeling, and want to value themselves more but don't know how to. I'm letting you know, we all have been down that road. Every single female, it matters not how pretty, how sexy or attractive she looks, she has been rejected at least once in her life. She has been, both men and women. You have to be able to ride the wave and know that listen, no situation you are alone in. You understand? You're a human being. You're subjected to error. That guy who rejected you or whatever is subjected to error just the same. We all have been down that road. So many women, elderly women, can tell you their stories of things that they have been through. You understand? So don't come online and post all these hateful things about the girl or about Shensia, because hating her is not going to make you love yourself. It's not going to make someone see the beauty in you. It's only expose the ugly that's in you. That's what it is doing. You understand? And so I valued my female associate or co-worker at the time, because she gave me an insight that really touched my soul and speak to me by saying that she doesn't want to see what people have been saying about her in the mirror. She would never want to do that, and because of such, it gave her such strength. And she I mean, you could see like she was so beautiful and stuff like that. And then when she spoke so eloquently, and nothing bothers her. There were other co-workers who used to bully her. You know, it's basically bullying, because they used to come and, you know, call her Dora, and they weren't doing it as a compliment, rather they were doing it as an insult or to badger her, to make her feel bad. But it didn't affect her. That's the thing. She was never perturbed. She was never, you know, she never took any offense. She didn't see it as anything. You understand? I remember a particular time a girl insulted her based on saying something, and she just said, you know, I got a slam dunk. She was like, I got a slam dunk. And I was like, they were asking, what did she say? And I repeated it. And they themselves come to the understanding that, you know, she really has a nice personality. You can't insult her and stuff. And that is what I want people to get. Not because you're a soldier, it means that you should put a person through war. You understand? I get that. So not because she has a high self-esteem means that you should badger her or tear her down, because everyone won't be able to ride that wave. But I'm just using her as an example that, you know, it matters not. People will always bully you. People will always come at you. People will always try to tear you down or try to make you feel bad. That guy out there will try to make you feel bad, because there are a lot of men out there. I'm sorry, the noise. There are a lot of men out there who are trying to compete with women, but you have to know your self-worth and value yourself and be able to ride the wave. You understand? Be able to ride the wave through life and know that there's better out there. The point I want to speak on right now is 119. There's a guy named 119 on the internet. You know, he came at Miss Kitty saying that Miss Kitty took 2 plates of food and all of that. So that's where he got, you know, sensation from. So in the morning yesterday, earlier on, I was watching a video where he was speaking on, he was Rapper Cropper, everybody know vlogger Rapper Cropper, right? So he was 119, Rapper Cropper edited a video of 119 and he was speaking about Jada Kingdom and SteffLondon wh0re. And upon speaking on it, 119 was calling Jada Kingdom a slut and a whore, because she's professing that she sell her body and she this and that and she do all sorts of things in music. And you know, the things that she's saying about herself and owning it and telling you that you must sell your body from it, sell your body from its good and stuff like that. And these are the things that he was saying. So he was calling her a whore, a Jezebel, a slut, and all these kind of caustic words being used to describe her. I was one who did that video and I uploaded it and I said, no, Miss Jada, you cannot be encouraging young women to sell their body, because it's not like, if you're not selling your body, you're giving it away for free. Usually people go into a relationship, and when they go into a relationship, their partner responsibility is to take care of them and they take care of their partner. That's how it goes. It's not like I'm selling my body, and if I'm not selling my body, I'm giving it away for free. With that being said, you guys have saw my video, you guys have listened it, you guys have watched it, so you know. This is what I'm talking about. Now, before that, 119 uploaded a video and he was speaking on his sister. He was speaking in reference to Joyland Silvera, the MP who, you know, is arrested and charged for the murder of his wife. And so he was speaking on his sister, saying that a man killed his sister some 13 or 15 years ago and burned down her house, burned down the house with her. He killed her and burned down the house with her because his sister was about to leave him, and he caught wind that his sister was going to leave the guy based on whatever issues that they were having, and he killed his sister. The guy, Rupert something, like, called the name of the guy, Rupert something. He has been absent, hiding for umpteen years, and they can't find him. And so this guy has gotten away with murder for how many, more than a decade. So he was very upset, and he was relating it and saying that he understand what is happening with the case of the MP, because it's the same way a guy had killed his sister, who she was in a relationship with, and because she wanted to leave him, he killed her and burned down the house. So these men are wicked and evil. That's what he said. That's what 119 said. His sister was killed by a guy. No, I was on a live yesterday, 119 live, and he was speaking on sexual harassment, and he was saying there's nothing. This is the same guy, you know. This is the same guy, 119. I was on his live, and he was saying that there isn't anything called sexual harassment. It's not real. It started by a professor in the United States in the 1970s. That act was established. And there's nothing named sexual harassment and stuff like that. So I was listening because I'm thinking that, okay, there's a method to the madness. So let me follow him down the dark alley and see if there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So watching him and hearing him speak and stuff like that, he's saying that nothing on him sexual harassment, and you know, you can't sexually harass a woman. It's just a made up myth. It's just a made up story, and act that was established by a feminist in the 1970s. And his father, if his father didn't sexually harass his mother, he wouldn't be in this world. And you know, it rubbed me I won't say wrong way, but a very incorrect way. It rubbed me because I'm looking at a man who earlier on in the day, I was watching a video on him, and he was speaking on his sister who was taken out by a guy she was in a relationship with because his sister wanted to leave the guy. He killed her and burned down the house. And in the evening, the guy is on a live saying nothing named sexual harassment. And it was established, it's an act established by a feminist in the United States in the 1970s. First and foremost, there have been sexually harassment from as way back as in 1890s. As far as back as the 1890s. Do you understand me? Sexual harassment in the workplace now was an act established at a later date. You understand? So that's totally, so that debunk your argument right then and there. Secondly, if you don't see anything wrong with sexual harassment, it therefore means that you don't see anything wrong with sexual assault. You don't see anything wrong with RAPE. So what are we getting at? Do you see how dangerous these men are who have a platform? This is the same man who called Jada Kingdom a slut and a whore. This is the same man because she came out and she says something in the clash. You understand? He was going after Jada. He was bantering her. He was going at her and he was, defaming her. Well, I don't think that he really defamed her based on the fact that Jada put it out there about herself. So it leaves room for people to interpret it. I get that. But this guy who has complained so much about women and saying that women need to conduct themselves a certain way. This is the same guy who's saying that sexual harassment is not real and it is a myth and stuff like that. So if you have your daughter and your daughter is walking on the road going somewhere, or your sister who is going somewhere walking on the road, or your mother going somewhere, walking on the road, and someone is soliciting her, or a guy he's chasing after her, lusting after her, and she simply isn't interested. You are trying to tell me that he should follow her straight to the end of the earth until she says yes? That's what he is saying. That guy should follow them straight to the end of the earth until he says, because there's nothing wrong with sexual harassment. This is a very dangerous man. A very dangerous man, and I don't know how TikTok didn't strike it. You understand? Because the information that you're putting out there in 2024, it's sending a very dangerous message. Misguided young men will think it's okay to follow a woman all the way out to wherever it is that she's going. I've seen on TikTok where a girl went out on a date with a guy. And, the date ended and she went home to her place. The guy drove his car and followed her straight to her house, saying that he wanted sex from her because he took her out on a date. And it's unfair for him to take her out and he didn't get sex or anything like that. This is on TikTok. The video is on TikTok. You see how dangerous this is. And for you as a full-grown man, it says a lot about you as a full-grown man coming out on the internet saying these kind of things. You should be removed. That's why I said the sooner they start to, monetize or not monetize, they start to measure or monitor certain region and block them from social media. Let them have limited access, the better. Because this is a very dangerous man in 2024. The message that he's putting out, and there are men out there who are on the live listening. So they don't think anything of it. I walk with weapon and I'm going to protect myself. And if I feel like you are harassing me or you are taking it a step further that brings discomfort to me, I am coming after you and I'm going to put it where you might not recover from it. Because I'm not playing that kind of game, and I don't think any woman should. So I find it very strange and hypocritical for a man who come out and call Jada Kingdom all these type of names in the book, all these type of name. The man sit down and call Jada Kingdom, and today he's going to say there's nothing wrong with sexual harassment. And it's the same man who claimed that his sister was murdered by a guy because she didn't want him. So you see, they are mentally ill. Mentally ill. The incels are mentally ill, and they should be denied access to the internet. They should be, once you get the caught wind of them and you realize what their message is about, they should be removed from the internet because they have serious issues. They have serious issues. Maybe mommy didn't hug them enough. Maybe some women out there that they admire, you know the game. Some women reject them and they haven't recovered from it. So they're taking it out on every woman. You understand me? As if we all haven't been rejected at some point in time. This is what they feed into the atmosphere. This is what they're telling young men out there so that people can be a part of their misery. I tell you, people who are sad and miserable, they come on the internet and this is what they do. When they aren't spreading propaganda, they are going out there and they're showing you a light, a negative light about people, about themselves, and they're encouraging people who are like-minded to do the same thing, to think and function the same way, until they caught themselves in the wrong end, because there's some woman out there who's going to say, listen, what time it was good? What's good? She might be a license firearm holder, and that would be the end of you. You cannot be out there and putting this thing in the atmosphere like that. It is negative. It is very, very dangerous. And I'm cautioning a lot of young men out there who are following this guy, who are listening to his message. Be careful. He's not the one that's going to end up in the hospital. You will be. He's not the one that's going to end up in jail. You will be. He's not the one that's going to end up 6'6". I'm sorry. You are. You are. And not every woman out there you can overpower like that. It's not every woman out there. It matters not how she look or frame. It matters not her size. It's not every woman out there. There are women out there who will force you if she feel like she's going to, her life is in danger, she's going to defend herself through attacking you. You're playing a very dangerous game and nobody playing it with you. Nobody sensible is playing that game with you. A very dangerous game. Throughout the years, how many women have been attacked? How many women have been chased, killed, hunted? Because they rejected. Again, look at Mercedes, the female social media influencer was on the internet. This was a girl who wasn't interested in any guy. She posts so many sexy pictures from lingerie companies and stuff like that. But she simply didn't want the lifestyle of dating a rapper and dating this. She didn't want it. You understand? And she went and she lived into a private area and stuff like that. And there came a crazy person who went and killed the girl. She went all out to protect herself. She avoided certain lifestyle because she didn't want to be seen as a ho who dated rappers and dated this type of guy. She went out to protect herself, and the guy still find a way to come and kill her. So for you to say something like that when so many women have been taken out by stalkers, for you to come and say, therefore stalking isn't wrong then. You understand? Sexual assault isn't wrong. RAPE isn't wrong. Come on. These guys are very dangerous. 119 is a very dangerous guy and he should be removed from social media. I was thinking that the Miss Kitty thing was, water on the bridge. He's just seeking clout through Miss Kitty and he's just chasing pavements at the same time. But now we see that he's on a move. He's an incel on a mission. He's an incel on a mission. Like the Andrew Tate, like so many others, like the Tommy Sotomayor, Fearless 2005, he's dead. You understand me? Kevin Samuels, he's dead. Like so many others who have come out of the woodwork and going in on women and saying these kind of nasty things. But then they're so hypocritical. So guys, you need to get with it. You guys need to find out if this is a guy that you are supposed to support. If this is a guy, we understand that people will have major talking points that you can relate to. But when you look at them in general, and when you take a step back and look at things that they are saying in retrospect, you know that these people are extremely dangerous. Because the things that they are saying is very dangerous. So that's all I have to say about it. I'm hurrying. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day and may God bless you. Bye-bye.